Manchester United is still in the fight, obviously qualify for the UEFA Europa League because the table looks tense, and they have a chance to obviously close in onto the side of Tottenham Hotspur if at all they win on Monday, depending on the result that Spurs is going to be getting tomorrow when they are playing against Liverpool into that highly anticipated game that's going to be played at Anfield. Spurs, in the last 3 games, they've gone ahead to lose all of them, and it shows you how bad Manchester United has gone ahead to be, because if United won against the side of Burnley over the weekend, they would have gone ahead to find themselves in a position of being 4 points behind Tottenham Hotspur. And remember, Tottenham Hotspur still has to play Man City and Liverpool. So that would have gone ahead to guarantee United a very huge chance to City that obviously close them in. And we really went ahead to down tools. But I hope that maybe on Monday, this team of Man United surprises us with a win, because I don't think that we are into the mood of obviously taking 3 points from the Selhurst Park, a stadium where this team is really very hard to beat, and they've gone ahead to obviously behave like a side that needs to obviously make it a fortress in the recent past. When you look at their game of football they last played there, they went ahead to beat Newcastle by 2-0, right? And they beat West Ham by 5-2. They lost to Liverpool by 1-0. Sorry, that game, sorry, they never lost. They beat Liverpool away 1-0. They are so much in a hype that in their previous 1, 2, 3, 4 games, they've got ahead to get 3 wins and just 1 draw. That is the hype they are into. If you compare them to Man United, obviously you really feel very bad, because for Man United, if you are to count our last games, we are just a bunch of jokers. I tell you, why are we a bunch of jokers? Man United drew with a side called Burnley 1-1, won against Sheffield, and we found ourselves really draw with Bournemouth 2-2. Those are the last 3 games we've got ahead to play in the Premier League. That is really very shocking, and we really concede very many goals. If I'm to count the number of goals Manchester United have gone ahead obviously let into the back of our net, they've been really huge, and the cause has been changing what we call the centre-back partnership. And again, we anticipate the centre-back partnership to change, because from the game of Coventry to the game of Sheffield to the game of Burnley, it has been Casemiro and Harry Maguire, and we anticipate it to change a lot. Welcome to the welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And let's continue to subscribe to this channel to see to it that all goes on as planned, and giving us the vibes that we really need to see to it that all goes on well. So I'm here to obviously let you know that a lot is really happening in the game of football, and we are doing the match preview of Man United versus Crystal Palace, a highly awaited game. For Palace, they have nothing they're fighting for. They've got ahead to stay in the league, and nothing is gonna really shake them. But they're at home, and playing a team like that is really very risky. Ask Arsenal today. You saw how Arsenal had to really do a lot to see to it that they obviously find themselves in a position of obviously clinching what we call a win from the side of Bournemouth at home. Arsenal needed to be doing more than they expected, because a lot was put at stake, and Arsenal was like, all right, you need to obviously come in through and really put in a very good shift all together. So if you know, you know, a lot is happening into that world of football, and we know what is really at stake for the club of Man United. We need to put in a very huge shift and really get in lots of people that are really gonna keep everything up and running as anticipated. So we go to the sick bay of United, Malacia. We talk Malacia, we talk Varane, Lindelof, which other person is injured? Luke Shaw is back, but he's not going to be part of this game of football, I doubt. Lisandro Martinez is also back, but he's really doubtful to obviously play part into this beautiful game of football. You get? So the other person that is back is Martial. John Evans is back. And Rashford is a doubt, but he might really make a surprise. Bruno Fernandes was seen with a casket onto his hand, you know, protective casket on his hand, but we don't know how fit is gonna be to be ready for the game of Crystal Palace on Monday. I think most of the players are really returning, you know. Mason Mount is back, Kamwala doubtful, so we might be able to put out a strong side to face Crystal Palace. When we go to Crystal Palace, they're having the following injuries. There is Cheick Doucouré, he's being assessed and he might return, you know. So he's being assessed and is ruled out of this game of football. Jefferson Lerma, he's having a thigh injury. He's not available, is being ruled out. Ebelechi Eze had an injury. He has gonna have to be past fit to play against Man United. Mark Guéhi is 75% fit and he's gonna be subjected to what we call a late fitness test. Rob Holding is having a thigh injury and his return date is really unavailable and is ruled out. Then Matthias Franca de Olivia, he's currently being assessed and ruled out of the game. But the rest of the players, the Olysses of this world, are really ready to obviously come and show United that this is why you've always gonna hate, obviously want to sign me up. You get? So that is exactly what is happening at the side of Crystal Palace. Man United, I've given you those that are really out. Malacia is out. Don't expect him to play. Varane is out. Lindelof is out. Which other player is out? Luke Shaw is back, but don't expect him to make the match squad. Lisandro Martinez, we might get in a shocker, but he's also available, but I don't think that he's gonna play. And who else? I think those are the players that are really out for the club of Man United. Now, we go to what we think the game is going to be like. Obviously, it's going to be a game of football where United, that is unpredictable, you know, will have to really try to either leave the ball to Crystal Palace or either want to keep it. It's a decision that Ten Hag will have to make because we know how good we look in possession, but we really concede very many chances. That is it. We open up a lot and we find ourselves in a position of really losing out on very many things throughout. Now, we go to the goalkeeper. Andre Onana is going to start in goal, no doubt about that. However much went ahead to make a very huge mistake that costed us 3 points, or 2 points at Old Trafford. He has to start. Right back, you go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka into the mix to obviously do the needful onto that side. Then the man himself, Dalot, on the left side to face Olise, who is expected to be a player for Man United next season. Then in the central defense, United is going to see Harry Maguire play onto the right side of the central defense, and then Johnny Evans is going to be played onto the left side of the central defense. He's back in training. He has been training for this full week, and we anticipate the best of him from this game of football. Then we go to Casemiro. That means Casemiro gets back in the central defensive midfield area, and Kobe Mainoo goes back to the number 8. The two make up the double pivot for Man United that is highly anticipated to take part into this game of football to take on the team of Crystal Palace. Ahead of them, it's really going to be Bruno Fernandes. However much he had a cassette onto his legs, I was like, sorry, on his hand. I feel like if at all he played 3 days after that this hand got that dislocation, and then he played over the weekend, he is going to have to play 2 games. This is a game that he has to obviously come out through and really show his captaincy returns for the club of Man United. So I anticipate he's going to come in through and really start. He has been named the player of the month for the month of April, and would love to obviously start the month of May with a bang in there for you. Then on the right side, I think it's going to be Anthony to start because he scored a goal and the manager will trust him to obviously start onto that side. Though for me, I believe will give Amad Diallo more time to start into the mix. On the left, it's going to be none other than Alejandro Garnacho, though Marcus Rashford is one of those players that the manager said might make a shocking return into the starting 11. Leading the line, however much Anton Martial is back, Rasmus Højlund still takes his spot into that. So that is the predicted starting 11 for me as a player, as a fan of Man United, and you can as well come in through and really tell me what your thoughts. That means we are getting back our double pivot of Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo, and the return of John Evans is going to facilitate Harry Maguire to play with John Evans into that central defense and see how things pan out. But Crystal Palace has very energetic people, you know. Mateta, you understand, with his pace. Ebelechi Eze, a very good player to look at in that central midfield, and Olise is another one that you'll ever want to see to it that all goes on well and Dalot really stops him. Remember the last season when we played here, it ended 1-1, and who scored the equalizer? It was none other than Olise. Very beautiful free kick, well taken into the top corner, and David De Gea couldn't obviously go for it. That is Olise for you. So that is how things really went down, or I expect to go down as far as the starting 11 is really concerned. Now let's obviously go into some head-to-head stats and really see what you people have to know about this beautiful game of football that is going to be played at the Selhurst Park that capacitates 28,000 people plus. Then first, Crystal Palace won 1-0 against Man United at Old Trafford earlier this season. The Eagles have never completed a league double over the Reds. Yeah, this season they won 1-0 and they went ahead to beat us into that game of football. And it was really one of those games that you thought that we wouldn't have gone ahead to lose, right? Secondly, Man United won 8 of their first 11 away Premier League games against Crystal Palace. 3 draws but are winless in the last 3. 2 draws and 1 loss. Thirdly, Man United have lost 4 away Premier League matches in London this season, losing to Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham and Chelsea. They have never lost 5 away games in a capital in a single season before. So we've lost 4 away in London, and we need to obviously up our stockings because away in London we are really performing very badly. I think it's one of the cities that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously perform very badly if you are to really recite his performances and how they've gone ahead to be down there. When we go to the fourth head-to-head start, Man United have lost 8 of their last 14 away Premier League matches in the month of May, with one of those a 1-0 defeat at Selhurst Park in 2002 under Ralf Rangnick. I still remember that game like yesterday. So we need to obviously take concern because this team is really a hard one to beat. Crystal Palace have won both of their last 2 Premier League games at Selhurst Park, last winning 3 in a row at home in a competition in October 2022. That is how huge this is for these people in there for you. So the Eagles have won as many of their 5 home Premier League games under Olivier Glasner this season. 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss as their 12 such matches under Roy Hodgson beforehand in 23-24. 3 wins, 3 draws and 6 losses. That is Crystal Palace for you. It's not going to be an easy tie for the club of Man United, and for everyone who thinks it's going to be an easy tie, I really pity you. And I think I'm calling in for a 2-2 draw, Man United versus Crystal Palace. It's hard to give United a win, because if I gave United a win and they fail to obviously get one when they're playing at Old Trafford against Burnley, how could I really give them a win against a team that really has high intensity? And if I told you go all down to win, I'll be very surprised. I tell you, I'm really going to be surprised. So I'm giving United a draw of 2-2. That is it. That is it. I don't really think United will push enough to really get 3 points. However much, those 3 points will be very vital because we will go, or we'll obviously make ourselves comfortable into that position. Remember, Newcastle is winning today, and they are going to go ahead of us. Remember, we are having 54 points, they're having 53, now they are having 56, and we have to play them. So we need to obviously up our stockings, beat this side called Crystal Palace. And if you know that you're playing Arsenal over the weekend or next weekend, then you have to get a win away at Palace. You get? But it's really hard to trust Man United. Even if they take a lead, you know that there is a point at which they're going to open up and really bottle this lead. So, thank you very much for watching through. That is my probable starting 11. Feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what your thoughts are about this probable starting 11 that I'm going to put up in here for you. And I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day. More 3 videos are yet to come. I told you on a minimum, on a daily, we are going to be putting up 4 videos. First video in, more are yet to come. Your predictions are welcome in the comment section below. Match preview done and dusted. We out.